I'm standing at the end of Pontcysyllte, Thomas Telford's famous aqueduct, the longest, highest navigable waterway in Britain. It's 1,007 feet long, which is 307 metres, and it crosses the River Dee 126 feet above the river, 38 metres. It is a structure which was created as part of the Ellesmere Canal, which is now called the Llangollen Canal. The canal was an important transport route, bringing goods from the north side of the river in the Rwabon area, where there were lots of industries, carrying goods up into the English Midlands along the canal network. In order to carry out this work, Telford had already constructed one cast iron aqueduct in Shropshire, London-on-Tern, and several iron bridges. But this was a completely innovative aqueduct. It was so much higher than any previous aqueducts and much more slender. And together with William Jessup, who was the consulting engineer, they designed this aqueduct to replace the original idea of several locks down to the river level and back up to the other side, which would have lost a lot of water and have been very expensive to construct. With the help of William Hazeldine, who supplied all the cast iron for this structure from his foundry just less than a mile from the other end of the aqueduct, this was constructed and opened in 1805. From here you can see how big the structure is. 18 massive stone pillars carrying the canal 126 feet or 38 metres above the River Dee in the bottom of the valley. And the pillars are solid for the first 70 feet, 20 metres or so, and then they're hollow up to the top. And then they carry the cast iron trough with the water in it above the pillars. And you can see the structure consists of 19, in effect, small cast iron bridges to support the cast iron trough. It took 10 years to build. It was started in 1795. Work did stop for a while around the end of the 18th century and then restarted in the 19th century. It was opened a few days after the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. And that was also celebrated at the opening ceremony, which was greeted with cannons and bands playing to celebrate such a massive structure and such a contribution to the progress of the canal to carry goods from the northeast side of the river across the valley. Now it is a very popular leisure waterway, but it is also a very important piece of infrastructure because it carries water to the southeast of Cheshire, and at the far end of the canal there's a reservoir which keeps the water and treats it and supplies it to Nantwich and Crewe in southeast Cheshire. So it's still an important structure carrying out an important function. Thomas Telford, of course, was the first president of the Institution of Civil Engineers, and he ensured that it was a learned society, a vehicle for exchanging ideas and developments in the construction and civil engineering industry. And it still exists today. It still qualifies civil engineers, and we need young people to be inspired by Telford's works to come and build similar works which will last perhaps for 200 years and still serve society in the future.